Alright, I'm going to take it off camera just briefly. And so, can I look at this? No. It has a big old do not read in there. So, yeah, I'm not reading that. I'm glad I have that. That was 2 thuds. Oh, dear Lord. And... Oh, what is this? Oh, sweet. What's up, Rockstars? Today I have the pleasure of finally unboxing the final production copy of Oathsworn. We got an all-in here. We're going to look at every single little thing, but a little bit differently. Let's talk about it right after this. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. Now, as always, before we dive into everything, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. If you appreciate the videos I make every single week for you guys, you can give even $1 a month. It would greatly help. There's a link in the description below. Thank you so very much. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and discuss how this video is going to be structured, because there are spoilers not in this video. So if you're watching this introduction, you are in the spoiler-free zone. I will not be showing any spoilers. I will be making 2 videos. One, the one you're watching now, that'll just show this, like what you've seen. So the Broodmother and the worm, and then all of the all of the free company, and then that'll be pretty much it. And the tokens, rulebook, stuff like that. Then I'll make a spoiler version of it that'll also include just the spoiler mini. So all the minis that you would have to click on to see and stuff like that. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you don't have to worry about that at all. You can just watch this video freely. If you want to be spoiled or you want to see everything, you can follow that up. It'll be linked in the description below, and I'll put it either here right now or at the end, depending on what YouTube allows me to do. So I'll do that as well. You guys can be sure to check that out for sure. Or if you just want to check back into it afterwards, you can bookmark it or do whatever it is you want with that. But either way, that'll be so that you guys can just watch freely. You can go, do something and, do dishes while watching something like that. You don't have to worry about, oh, pause it. Oh, no, he's going to spoil it. Don't have to worry about that. With that out of the way, I'm excited to dive into this. So I'm going to stop this right now and dive right in. All right, we're going to start really high up here and open up the big boxes first. And then we will do the smaller boxes, of course, individually, one at a time. But I mean, obviously, when it comes to this video not being spoiler or anything like that, it'll probably just be the core box, really. I don't know how they're situated when it comes to the other one. I think maybe the Broodmother, the rat, might be one of those boxes. So we'll find out together, I guess, right? So I go into these completely blind, or at least as blind as I possibly can be. So I've not watched any other unboxings. I've not had any pictures shown to me or anything like that, so that I can just kind of have a natural reaction to it without any preconceptions. One of the issues is if I hear like, oh man, this one mini is really bad. Well, I'm going to be looking for that mini. I mean, this is human nature, right? So I try not to even have that. So if you note something, and I don't, I mean, by all means, let me know. But if I seem to be repeating what somebody else might have said, well, I don't know what they said. So that's that. All right. Oh, this is 30. This box alone is 36 pounds. The other box is another 12. It's insane. What a great looking art book. That is sweet looking. That looks awesome. Super cool. Okay, that looks good. It's a print on there. It's not embossed or anything, but it looks like it would be, which is nice. Okay, so there's the art book. And again, I don't think I'll look at that too much. Again, for the same reason, I'm sure there's spoilers in there. I would think so. Loud paper. Fill up any of the space. This is actually quite full. I mean, this is such loud paper. This is flush. Got the metal coins. We'll be able to look at that for sure. This was great. So they're calling it iron. I actually got them to be able to do that. I think before they were calling them like groats and some other stuff like that. And I'm like, just call it iron because James Cosmos says it. He says it's so cool. It's like iron. I can do his voice, but it sounded really cool. Let's see, spoiler warning. This map and then the pack contains major spoilers. Sweet. Okay, I'm excited to open that one. I have no problem with spoilers, by the way. Just as a person, I gave up on spoilers a long time ago. Let's see, the Armory box. This will be cool. I'll be sure to test this. I'll also tell you guys how to paint with the spoiler box in mind. I'll be testing some things out. I already have some ideas. A few things I could try. Oh, and then a nice big old box here. This is probably the main box here, I would guess. Terrain. No, this is just a terrain. There's the terrain. Very gray, which is cool because normally you think green and stuff, but there's a few colors in here. That's kind of neat. Okay, we'll keep looking into that. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to run out of room real quick here, aren't I? Oh, all right. So it must be in here with its own separate box. So again, if this is boxed differently than yours, well, first of all, each country will have its own kind of distribution hub company, and I believe often they're the ones packaging things, so it might be a little bit different. Additionally, this is while it's a production copy, I think it was sent. Oh my god, this is so freaking heavy, guys. I think it was sent directly from Shadowborn Games, their place. I think they probably had some shipped to them, and then they shipped this to me, so it might be a little bit different. It looks to me like this is what you'd get if you just got the core. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. It's really hard to do that while filming, believe it or not. I'm gonna get a workout here because I'm having to reach so far away from my body. Like I'm over here. My hands are attached to a person. Hi. And and so doing it away from your body is really difficult. Okay. Whew. Well, let's actually keep this angle and keep going for now because I'm excited. I want to dive into this and see what's in here. Let's take a look. I'm sure this is the base game, but I don't want to cut. I don't want to adjust the camera. I don't want to do nothing. I want to zoom in. I will grab a chair. I sit down when I unbox. You guys have seen how long my videos are. I ain't standing the whole time. You guys crazy? My goodness. Okay. Trying to be careful. A patron of mine sadly just got a box from Quartermaster Logistics, I believe, that has a slash right over his box. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. That's just somebody just jabbing in there. They need to teach the new guy Fred how to open up a box carefully. Very thick. Look how thick this cardboard is, guys. That triple freaking layer. This is, I mean, it has to be to even store this, but super thick. Like, super thick. It is really, you can see how much it can compress, obviously, but this is some of the thickest cardboard I've had for a game like this. This is crazy. Wow. I mean, even the main box, one layer, right? Triple layer. So, there you go. And I guess that's nice because notice there was no padding underneath or anything like that. It was just that. Okay, a little skinny piece there just to keep it a little bit more level. There's obviously more space than that than what this is, but I think some of that takes up from the freaking triple layer here too. So, it seems pretty flush. This box looks like it's pretty good. Now, I'm probably going to have to tip this over. I doubt. I'm not doing that. But I'd hate to rip it. I don't like ripping boxes, man. I really don't. Okay. All right. And obviously, Panda, very proud that they manufactured this. I believe this is their first Hips game where they did Hips plastic. So they're really, like, pushing the envelope for themselves here, too. That was 2 thuds. Oh, dear Lord. All about the... What's this one? Okay. All about the professional unboxings here. You guys expect nothing left from a channel named The King of Average. I know. You guys expect perfection. That's what I give. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is the densest freaking game ever. Okay. All right. I need a break already. Well, what a pretty box. Let's actually now adjust. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to dive into this now. Psych, I lied. I forgot about this box here. Well, it's not that I forgot. I was thinking that I would just like do the whole thing in the spoiler, but I want to give you guys as much as I possibly can without spoiling anything. And seeing the box that was offered on Kickstarter is not a spoiler. You saw it on the Kickstarter, so let's go ahead and open this up too. I'm going to open that up as well, and I might need to edit it out. I'm not sure what that is. I think it might be like the secret box that we got that, like, you know, they wouldn't say what it was. It was like $10 if you didn't back it right away or whatever junk. Okay. There is hair, by the way, like inside of this box. First I thought it was my dog. I got a border collie. But that seems a little short for him too. So I don't know what. Jamie, what were you doing with this thing before it got to me, huh? Or Toby, or whoever had this? Brush your dog. Like I'm going to talk. My cat just like sheds like none other. So even less space here, by the way, like way less. Same kind of little thing there. Okay. All right, then we got 2 of them. Look how big this is. I don't think I can take this out either. It's too tight. It's too tight. Okay. All right, let's. Okay. All right. All right, we're gonna get this, guys. Ready for it? Oh, it's gonna sound bad, probably. I'm trying not to get it to sound bad. That didn't sound too bad. That was almost pleasant, like a gentle slide. Oh, okay, that sounded worse, actually. Oh, I got a pile of cardboard right now. Okay, stay. Nope. Okay. So we got the Mystery Chest 1. I have painted this guy, so you can go in and check that out. I'll link down to my paintings down below. I've also painted the Broodmother, so you can check that out also. If you want to alter my Broodmother at all, if you don't like it as blue as I got it, you can just add a black wash. It'll look great. Okay, so that is Mystery Chest 1. And then, what's that Mystery Chest 2? Any new art? No, same art. Okay, good. So we're good there. And Mystery Chest 2. Okay, let's open up the last cardboard box. I think that's safe to open up. And we will dive into this. We got the Armory to go through. We got the core box. We might even have one of the minis in one of these boxes to go through. That's a lot, guys. It is a lot. My goodness. Okay. The terrain box. Oh, yep, that's what I thought it is. Okay. So this is... I don't know. I don't even know what's in this one, and I looked at all the spoilers before. Age 14 plus. Frozen on Toy secret box. You may open this box. Oh, thanks. I'm glad. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. All right. I think actually in here are. I think they're individually boxed, but I'll still wait. I'll open these up in the other one. Let's now finally dive in. All right, guys. So I'm actually going to end on the secret box. So if I have to edit it out, it'll be at the end, and it'll be something to look forward to. I have no idea what's in this. I feel like there's a plastic case in there. I feel like there's some kind of mini. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm actually going to start real quick with a quick one and look at these, which I think should be fun. So let's zoom in. Okay. There we go. And then we'll get into the core box right after this. Then I think we'll do the terrain box. I think we'll actually go quick. And then the armory at the end. And then the secret box, or the secret box at the very end. Okay, so right off the bat, I feel like this looks great. They're different sizes, which I think will be super helpful. It's not just the number on them. They also, you can already kind of hear them clanking. They sound very nice. They look, they're washed really well. Oh man. All right. Yeah, these like these might actually hold some value. Better than a penny, that's for sure. So they have the well, here, I'll get a bigger one to show you. So there's the one, though. You can kind of see that. It's the same on both sides, right? We're going to put that there. Let's get a 20 out because it's larger. I want to show you the sides, some of the detail score work. And we'll compare the largest to the smallest and kind of look at that, too. All right, so first things first, obviously, is the font looks great. It's very noticeable. The wash is all the way in there, but it's not really affecting this at all. It doesn't look tarnished or dirty too much or anything like that, like splotchy, right? You can sometimes get that. You see, I see a little bit in the like line around here. There's a little bit of darkness as it angles in because this is not perfectly straight. I can feel a little curve there. So it looks like it goes up or straight and then angles down. So this part here is angled down. The little like plus sign here looks really good. The little branches and stuff are very fitting for the deep wood, right? That, you know, you got these kind of like swirled, kind of almost leaf plant like parts, and then perhaps some branches as well, or sproutings. Both sides there's a little bit of a nick, looks like right there, which I think looks fine on these kind of coins, right? I can't bend it and I'm trying. So that's good. It's nice and sturdy. I think if I really put some effort into it, I could start to bend this sucker, but it's very nice. Obviously, you know, metal, which is nice. On the sides, let's go zoom up even more now. You'll see that it is textured, right? Kind of like a lot of our coins here in America are anyway. One thing I am noticing is that there is a line there, right, where the mold was put there, and it's not aligned. So the slash on one side doesn't quite match the slash on the other side. I don't know if they're all like that or if it's just this one, but you hear that? Beautiful. So they feel really good. My wife is going to love these. She even loves fake money. Imagine that. All right, let's take a look at another 20. Let's see if they're both misaligned or not when it comes to the two sides. Yes. So they are both misaligned a little bit. Almost looks like a zipper. And that might be on purpose. I don't know. It looks like this one is closer. This one's really close. Whereas this one looks much farther off. So I think it's probably, you know, no rhyme or reason. You guys know how I am with these things. So just trying to note everything. I will have, I guess I should have said this a long time ago. I'm starting to do summaries at the end of my videos. So you'll see at the end of this video that I'll have kind of a summary back at my desk most likely, where I'll talk about my final thoughts, my closing thoughts on this. So we will do that at the end, and I'll kind of review everything. But because you know, I mean, I started out just unboxing things, and people were like, "Dude, you like the moment I started critiquing the glue job on the inside of a box, people like lost their minds. They're like, "What the heck is wrong with this dude?" Well, I don't know. It's just how I am, I guess. But one thing to say about it is it kind of ends up being a component review. So in a way, this is like the first review I have of the game, and I would argue the first review any consumer has of your game. Before they read the rulebook, before they play the game, their first experience is the unboxing of it, the opening of the product. And if that's a crummy experience, if that's not a good experience, that's not a good first impression. You gotta nail the introduction to this, right? So, speaking of nailing it, I love the color of this. This looks great. You know, you see things digitally, and when you see things digitally, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but like open up on your phone, especially back in the day, but you open up on your phone and then open up on like some crappy laptop screen, and then, you know, I have a actual like really nice color accurate monitor for editing because I need to kind of color grade it, but that not everybody has it. But and then you open that and the images look different. You know, your phone will oversaturate it, and then your laptop screen will desaturate it, and then printing is kind of the same way. The ink levels, getting it all right, getting the coloration. You can go through several prints to get it right, or the how dark you want the blacks and stuff. This looks great. Like in the flesh, looking right now, it looks wonderful. I'll do my best to make that look good for you guys as well. We're going to kind of explore the outside of the box before I start cutting it out. Or cutting it open. My goodness, that sounds terrible. If I just rip into it, people would flip the freak out. I would. So, right here, front and center is the name, and then everything kind of around it. That's hard to do, especially with something this big, because often you're blocking a whole bunch, right? Like if you think about, if I think even like making a thumbnail, if I put big old words here, it's hard to make the outside work and make it seem cohesive. But I think they did a great job by having the Broodmother up here, and then her little swarm rats babies down here, and then having the enemies or the people kind of fight here. One interesting thing I find about this instantly is that the priest is facing away. He's looking back to this, right? She's shooting, he's attacking, he's definitely attacking. Very fitting for the exile there. But the priest over here is dealing with the other threats, looking after their back. That is really nice kind of storytelling there. You can see the arrows. She's already shot a few in there. So it's very cool, I think, to see that and kind of really look into it. And even if you don't look at it as closely as I am, just you get that feel of it, right? Additionally, it kind of has a little bit of that, I forget the effect it has, a little rounded effect that you can, like old photos that you can fake out now with like Instagram filters and other stupid junk. But you can tell it's like supposed to be like this is maybe a tree here, and you can see a vine here, and you can see, so it very centers it. It makes it nice and separate here, and overall it's just great with the splash of color. Her looking, it's just like very almost a purple blue here, which is very nice, and it's a very cool color. I love it. I'm glad it's not like a regular brown or even a gray. The Twisting Tales games, that's their branding here. Everybody kind of does their own kind of narrative branding here, but it does let you know, hey, there's a book and there's a little twist there, and it's like, okay, so this is going to be a narrative game. We have Shadowborn Games here, quite small. They have their symbol here, which they're very proud of, and I can't blame them. It looks great. And then their text of their name is actually kind of small. And then a game by Jamie Jolly. Congrats, Jamie, on getting this. I can only imagine how cool that looks. Okay, on the side here, we have the main symbol. You'll see this a lot. They definitely brand this out. I believe it's the sign of the Oathsworn. I think they have it on like their wrist or something like that, as you saw in the first chapter that they released. 1 to 4 players. Story. So this is 2 different parts here, and it's nice that they even spelled it out. The story part, about 45 minutes. I think the rule book, I already started reading that slightly, or refreshing it from what I had already read it. It says an hour. And then Encounter says 90 minutes. Again, that's, I think, an average. I think it's 90 to 140, I think, or 120, something like that it lists in the rule book. It's weird that these don't match the rule book. I would think they would, but I guess they're kind of getting kind of a net average there. And then 14 plus. The 14 plus is mainly violence, from what I can see. So there is like some blood and you know, people dying and getting eaten and stuff like that. It's not like gratuitous. It's done in a mature way, but it's mature stuff. So there you go. All right, moving that. Ugh. All right, on the back is absolutely nothing. This is a Kickstarter game, and as such, they don't need to inform the pretend retail people, hey, I found this game. I've never heard of Oathsworn before. If you have this, you've heard of it because you had to go and order it. And I think that's awesome. I love that. So they got some legalese stuff here, right? They have to do stuff like this. Otherwise, they can get in big trouble for, you know, trying to market to kids, dangerous stuff and all that kind of stuff. So they have all this sort of junk here, right? And that's all that is. It is copyright 2021. Always find that interesting. The Chronicle X that I unboxed was supposed to have a 2019 calendar in it, which is pretty fun. Oh, well, let's actually go ahead while we have it upside down. The wrap, by the way, it feels pretty skinny, but I mean, that's good. It's fine. It's fine. It's not gratuitous. There is a little bit of a lift you can see on the lid right now. That's often the case. You'll get that because they have the token trays stacked up. Once those token trays are gone, ideally this is flush. So I think that's pretty normal actually to see that happen. It's something I notice quite a lot. And there is a little bit of a flex. I don't know if you can see the reflection perhaps or whatever, but I can move the plastic ever so slightly. And what that tells me is it's tight but not ridiculous, so which I also actually appreciate. I think I'm actually going to cut it on these excess here. I think is where I'm gonna kind of make my incision like a doctor and then go from there, because I'm all about precise actions here. Who am I kidding? No linen finish. There is a little bit of wear you can see right there where it's kind of been pushed aside and brushed aside. With how heavy this is, just taking it off the shelf, I guarantee you're going to add that. It's a non-starter. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna have to just kind of be okay with that. It's gonna get a little marked up over time as you're sliding it around. Oh my goodness. All right. And we are finally ready to dive into this. It is so heavy, guys. If one of you knows how heavy just the core box is, let me know. One of the things that's rough about this is its size. It's not like it feels heavier than Madara, but Madara, the box size is bigger, so it's a little bit more distributed, I feel. This is really dense. Ugh. All right. Is that foam? Warning! The depot holds many mysteries, and so does this box. Do not open any boxes, envelopes, or books, nor look at the faces of any cards or boards until told to. Components you may look at immediately are both rulebooks, punch boards, miniatures and trays, player aids, ability cards, archetype cards, companion cards, might decks, all dice, player boards, free company sheets, and character sheets. To begin, turn this page over. Well, this is nice. Look at this. First time setup. Oh, man. Oh, I am... Okay, this is... Ooh, I was not expecting this. Okay, it's really white. Let me adjust my lighting real quick. All right, that should look a little bit better for you guys. I realize that it can get kind of bright here. I got a lot of light pumping in on this. Okay, this is... All right, so we're already seeing some previews of some of the stuff, right? So we're going to get some kind of tray. Looks like it's got big old numbers here, which is super interesting. I'm going to, again, you guys can read all this. I'll have to, for sure. How to repack the box guide on the back of the encounter book. Very nice. This is great. Prepare card organizers and save bags and all that. It's really wonderful. Every now and then, well, not every now and then, constantly, I'll do an unboxing. But afterwards, guys, I have to like put it all back. I don't film that part, but it takes sometimes upwards of an hour where I'm trying to figure out where tokens go because there's a whole bunch of spots for them. But I don't know which tokens go where, so I start to put one there, and then I realize, oh no, this other one goes there, and then I have to take it all out, do all that kind of silliness here. Okay. So, oh wow, this is mystery envelope. Do not open until told. Oh, it's guys. So that's where it ends, right? Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, we're not gonna mess with any of this. More mystery envelopes here. I'm assuming there's like rules and all sorts of stuff here. Interesting that this is different, right? Okay. So there's that. Here are the minis, and it shows how to put them together. They're push fit, which is always interesting. That being said, oh, look at that. It looks like my Ursa's head seat on. So I was warned, and like I said, I try to go in as blind as possible, but sometimes people want to tell me things, and sometimes it's useful. It really is. So one of the things they said is that since this has traveled like, 15,000 miles, the push fit minis can sometimes become a little loose and you have to put them back in. I'm seeing, oh wait, right here. Penitent got it. Penitent got it, oh no. All right, that should look a lot better for you guys now that we went from light to dark. Okay, so right here, push fit design. Multi-part push fit minis. If a part becomes loose, simply push the piece into place and squeeze the front and back of the miniature tightly. Hips are very robust. You don't need to be too afraid of ruining it. Well, as cool as this is, we're going to move these and put them aside. There is tape holding them together. There is no lock on the lids. So oftentimes you'll see a little notch on here, and that little bit of a notch makes it to where these don't pop off, making it to where you don't need these, which is always typically kind of preferred. There's also no dimples to hold them in, and so they will kind of move around in there. See how like she moves forward? And that's because she has space to move forward in. See? So they'll kind of hang out there. And that's part of what helps them take apart there. If they had dimpled in the lid and then also locked in like that, they could have not put the sticker there and they would have stayed in place. The dimple does make it look a little bit worse though, but I don't know if it's worse than a piece being broken out. So that's probably one way they could improve a little bit. And we got a little tiny piece of tape here. These are often like yellow when you peel them off, they're icky. But we got some other stuff there. And then this is wrapped too. This is often done, my understanding, is to ease in assembly, right? So instead of saying, oh, each person needs their board and 1, 2, 3, 4 different player boards, make sure they're the same. Instead, they wrap them like this and it's one item to put in instead of like 5 or 6, right? And so everybody is for sure going to get it, at least a lot more sure. And that's really helpful. And it makes it honestly a little bit cheaper because it's a lot nicer to be able to, if you're going to be making, 12,000 of these, like they sold or whatever, however many they sold, it's nice for the factory to have it pretty simple. And that involves making multi-pieces into one piece, right? All right, so let's go ahead. This almost feels, actually I think this is a little bit thinner. Yeah, this is thinner than the outside one. Is it? Yes. Okay, it is. Okay, oh wow, on the side here, now that the lid's off, you can see you have the different characters here. There's the Cur, and I think that's the Warden, and then I forget the race name there, but they're all on the sides as well. So that's super cool to see. Okay, we got the player board. We'll look at that in a second here. We got some punch boards. This is interesting. So usually, often the case is that the whole thing's printed in black or whatever. Instead, it's like they did the whole thing in black, but they didn't use up the whole board, and so but the board is standard, and so that's just what they left, which is kind of interesting. Fairly bendy, at least on this big part here. Let's go ahead and try and get some hangs on there. Looks like you can totally do that. So there is a little bit of a tag hang there if you really try. But that being said, I mean, I don't think I'll accidentally ever do that. Okay, let's see if they'll come out easily. Yes, very easily. So if you want, I mean, you could just go to town and really unbox all this pretty quickly. I'm going to push it from the other side and see. I'm not, yeah, okay. Not seeing really any problem here when it comes to any tearing or ripping or anything like that. Okay. Do a kind of a squeeze test here. It's slightly squishy. It's not too bad though. I don't know why my voice went so high on squishy, but it did. Yeah, this is actually really good. Nice and smooth feeling here. Doesn't feel like powdery or sawdusty or anything like that, which is nice. The tag barely leaves a dot, and that's pretty much it on that, which is nice. It is front and back, and it looks like, and I want to actually zoom in a little bit for you guys, so you guys can really see what I'm looking at here. Okay. So you see how there's a little bit of white around there, and often if you do this, it will start to wear a little bit or show up more, but not always. So I'm not really seeing that become more excessive. What I'm testing here is to see, like, let's say I play this game a ton. Ideally I do. Ideally I play it a whole bunch. How worn is it going to look? How much is it? How many times can I pick this up? This part, so when it like clamps down, right, and so it pushes this down a little bit, so it's curved here. That's typically good. This is a hard edge, and sometimes it can flake. But honestly, while you can kind of bend it back a little bit, it's not flaking off or anything like that, which I think looks pretty good overall. I think that's quite nice, very nice. Okay, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. This is so interesting. Look, okay, so I gotta zoom out here. This is, again, it's really unique, and I dig that. So they have like little blotches out here, right? Like whole segments like cut out. Like, nope, you don't get one there, kind of thing. Which is, it's fine. It's whatever. I don't care. You know, give me however many I need, I guess. But you know, so the tins here. But you see how they take up different sizes because they're different sizes, but they don't start on a new line, and so they are offset. In other words, the ones don't stop here, or they don't like do a trail over here or something like that. Instead, it's like broken area, which is some kind of muted gray, and then it starts the 5, which is larger because it's a larger piece. That's fine. And then when the 5 goes over, it then goes here, but it's underneath the 1, not the 5. In other words, it didn't have another gray area here, so there's a little bit of overlap here. And then it goes to 10, which staggers it even more. What a weird way to do it. I don't know if it's perhaps cheaper, maybe, or something, or I'm just trying to think of why you would do that. It's very jarring to see. I can see that and see that like they're all like that, where they're just like just what it needs. Very interesting. Very interesting to see how that just cuts off there. So I would think, like, if there's only that many more ones or something like that, you'd put 1 here and then you have 3 more. And normally you just put 3 more, you know, somewhere so they fit it. But no, I don't know. It's very interesting to see that. Very interesting to see that. These are all round. I'm not concerned about taking any more round pieces out. Let's look at some of the spells and stuff like that. So enemies might be doing something to you. The witch might be doing some crazy stuff. That's one of the characters. And so, you know, this kind of stuff can appear and cover up and change the terrain a little bit. And I must say, it looks great. Like the swirls look good, and I mean, it just, the texture-wise, it looks awesome. The spire looks really, really good. I like the hexes you can still see on there, and that punched out like amazing. So there's nothing bad there either. Overall, that's quite nice. I don't think that's exactly how it was lined up. Yeah. So again, sponginess, firmness, actually quite good, very good, actually. In fact, this is sturdy stuff. This is well made stuff. Okay, and then we got some smaller single hexes there. We got some terrain and stuff like that. I got the main terrain thing, so I'm just going to punch out a house so you guys can see, again, different shapes, different sizes. Get very firm, very, very condensed. Okay, so you can kind of see it barely, I mean, it is compressed super tight. There's no real obvious like plain layer lines here. So this is going to look great. And again, I think it looks like this holds up quite well also, which is just great to see. There's no difference, right, on either side. There's no like damaged version versus undamaged version or anything like that. But it is printed on both sides, so you don't have to be too concerned about what side you use. We got some walls here as well. And now we have some standees for some villagers. Looks like, or some men-at-arms maybe, or something like that. And again, a whole lot of empty space within the trees, of course. Again, we got some pretty trees to paint as well. Okay, so I think that's it for the cardboard. Let me pile this up. Get back on there. Just don't want to make too much of a mess. Yeah, good luck with that, Michael. You guys should see the area around me while I sit. I mean, it looks terrible. It gets so full of crap. Okay, let's look at the game board. Oh, the one I punched out. Put that there too. Okay, so we're gonna have to move a lot of this stuff. This is kind of big. Oh, I'd never seen the other side. Okay, so I love that they made this smaller. So again, one of the things, and I play tested this, I guess fair warning there, way kind of early on, about, I want to say almost a year before it came on Kickstarter. I played it. And several things changed since then. One of the things is the difficulty of the first boss battle, because my experience was running up to the boss, dying on the first hit, and having to play some other character. I'm like, maybe you should ease us in on that a little bit. Okay, now with that being said, looks great. So again, I'd never really seen this one before. I know I'm looking at it long ways, but it works right now on the camera, so I'm going to leave it. Few things I noticed. The rats. I don't know if you see that or not. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. I'll zoom in. We can look at some details here. Okay, so right here you can see these rats kind of moving around. These are obviously different rats from the Broodmother. They're different color. Their tails are different. They don't look like, necrotic here. But there's some more doozies. So I'm actually going to fold it back up a little bit just to show you easier. Let's see, there's some skulls here in a little pile, which is going on there. There's obviously a skeleton right here as well. Some broken stuff here. Like, this is some pots here. This is not a good place to be. This is not a good part of town, I would say. And then over here, we got a little bit of columns and stuff like that, and broken pieces and whatnot. So, yeah, bad place to be. And then, of course, everybody's familiar with, oh man, that looks great, is the deep wood here. And again, the color on here is magnificent. Wow, that looks so much better than the version it is pumped up. Okay, so a few great things. I don't know if you ever knew this or not, but there is no like number system here, like A, B, C, D, anything like that. So it can sometimes be a little difficult to know where to plant things. But there are cues. For instance, in the center is a skull, right? Smack dab in the center. But then there's other really niceties as well. So for instance, this is like right in the center of the other area here. Or there's little cues like, oh, it's right next to the little pink fungus stuff going on there. Or, oh, it's right on this little root system here. There's a lot of visual diversity. Unlike the other side. On the other side you saw, it was this kind of all like some street thing with a few things. Here there's a whole bunch of different cues you can look at. But it also kind of tells a little bit, I mean, so it can, there's like an overhang here by the looks of it, and again, almost a nest little area there. And then is this like a spider web? What the heck's going on with all this stuff over here? So it's going to have a lot of different battles. There's a bug here, some kind of centipede thing. Over here, there's a hammer. So there's little things like that you're going to notice. Let me show you that little hammer. There you go. You see it? There it is. There's a hammer there. So yeah, I mean, everything here tells a story. It seems there's a shield right there. Okay, so all sorts of little things. I'll let you guys look for other things you can find, but suffice it to say, looks super cool. I think anyway. I love it. I think this looks awesome. Okay, that's it for that. Let's move on to the next. Oh, and I mean, it folds, as you can see, quite nice. Actually lays fairly flat, a little tiny bow there, but otherwise pretty okay. And I'm not seeing any kind of wear on the glue. This is the weak point here, but it looks good there. Taking a look at the glue job in general, it looks like it looks good. Okay, so this right here, I was looking at this, I'm like, what the heck is this? And here, I'll zoom in even to show you. Okay, so 2 sides, right? And then that's the part in the middle. And that should be fine. It's okay if it's splayed open a little bit like that. It looks like it's actually just filling in where this gets a little bit smaller, this cardboard here. Maybe towards the end it compressed a little bit. Nope. I'll redo that. Sorry, Kalen. All right, so I was looking at this little area here. This is 2 sides, right? So this folds out. So that's the fold in the middle. So you never see that anyway. It's not sticky, which is good. So it's not like gonna catch on stuff. I think what happened here is it looks like the cardboard gets a little compressed at the end. And notice it's on both sides like that too. I imagine just in the manufacturing process, it might compress them a little bit at the end. And so it exposes more of this little strip here. So it's all uniform, and then at the very end, it kind of flares out. Not concerned about that at all because it's looking great. It really is. On here, it doesn't look like it's flayed out any on this side. So, you know, I'm not sure exactly why it did that, but it's very, very sturdy. And, yeah, definitely quality. And there's not a whole lot. I mean, I got a light pumping at this. Not a whole lot of reflection, too, for not being linen. In fact, some linen can be like really reflective. Okay, so let's get back to business with this box. Let's take a look at the thickness of the glue here. So it's sufficient. It's actually very nice, very sturdy paper here. This is super heavy, so this is only sufficient. This would be way more than you need otherwise, but with how this is, I'm glad it's as thick as it is, because it's pulling it, you know, you don't want to like rip anything off. The glue is pretty good. There's a little bit of a lip here, not too bad here. None there, and then none here, and a tiny one on this side here. I should press it down probably. It looks uniform too. It's not slanted or askew or anything. All black inside. That doesn't cost a whole lot, and it's super nice to have. I think everybody just views it as nicer looking than regular cardboard, in my opinion. And it fits the theme as well. So we got some various holders here with lids. And again, there is no locking system on there. Also not a really easy way to take the lid off. There we go. So that'll hold various cards for you there, which is nice. I'm glad that, in fact, there's even the little inlet there too. It's not like super flat or anything. It does flare out a little bit. So the plastic on the edge flares out slightly. So if you were to like shove this into the side of the box or whatever, it could scrape that. That being said, it looks like it's only on the corners because this is almost perfectly cut. And then just on the corners, it flares out just slightly, just a little bit. I also notice there's a little bit of, I'll take this lid off again, of a divot here as well. And I don't know if that's to, you know, maybe prop a card up, or I'm not sure exactly what that does. Maybe as I use them, I'll be like, oh, that's what that's for. Okay, so let's say we got 2 of those. Okay, let's just throw that on the floor. That was super loud. Okay, here we got some time trackers. That being said, see there was chapter 2 and stuff like that. So we'll just look at chapter 2 because it's sitting right there. You can't avoid it. But I don't think it did it list that? Could I look at that? Where was the paper? Here's that paper. What can I look at first? Let's see here. All dice, might decks, character. Yeah, it doesn't mention it. Okay, so we'll just look at the first one. First of all, the art is glorious. It looks so good. And this is looking pretty obvious too. Notice the sun, by the way, is changing, right? That's midday, and then it's kind of starting to go down, right? And then the moon starts coming up, and then the moon gets all the way to the top, never quite goes down though. So there's that little time right before dawn that you don't really get to play, at least in this one. And different events happen depending on how far you either reveal or don't reveal. Just kind of depends. So, and there's quite a few there. I'm not even going to bother flipping it over or anything like that. Okay, next up, we got another baggie of things. Oh, this is heavy. Oh my goodness. Ooh, this is a lot of it right here. Okay. All right. Let's open this up. Careful. Careful. All right. So right here, it looks like it is lifting this up. Hopefully this is okay. I think this is a protective kind of white paper. That's my hope anyway. That's what that is. You do have spiral bound. Yeah, it looks like there's some protective paper, which is very nice. I'm glad that they're taking care of that. I don't know if they automatically had that or if they're like, oh, we also need that. That means that it looks like some other stuff may have still been kind of flipped from that wrap, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, well, we'll take a look at that in a second here. Okay, so we have these Free Company. This is like the party tracker thing, right? It'll track different things you're doing, knockout track and stuff like that, and the different traits you can have, and what chapter and story ambushed, and a whole bunch of other stuff here that you can do for your campaign. Essentially, this is for everybody here. And then hardcore, based off of what classes have died, I think, or available, because it's kind of a permadeath thing. Yeah, there's a decent amount here. My understanding is these pamphlets are not very costly, so it would have been nice to print, double, triple this. I mean, why the heck not? However, maybe it was prohibitive, or they thought this was enough, whatever. You can obviously download these online and print them out yourself too. They did bring baggies. Again, baggies are super cheap. It's one of the things that will cost some pennies, I believe, to add, and it's definitely welcome. These are very thick, very nice quality. They do not have the hole in there, so they could bunch up, which is kind of nice. I don't mind poking a little hole in them, but if they have a hole, you can't ever puff it up with air. Sometimes if I put minis or something in there, I appreciate the cushion that could have. Okay, there was a journal here. I don't think journal is on our list. Yeah, I don't see no journal here. All right, I'm going to take it off camera just briefly. And so, can I look at this? No. It has a big old do not read in there. So, yeah, I'm not reading that. I'm glad I have that. Okay, protective piece number 1. And thing that needed a little bit more protection, number 2. So there are separators in between these. Oh man, that's such a bummer that just, oh man, look at that. That is a bummer. I'm gonna try and put it under something heavy or something like that. So it is spiral bound, which I appreciate. That's very nice because it takes up less space, right? You can just kind of put it right in there. Now it looks like, again, mysteries do not read any pages in this book, so I'll edit that part out. Edit that part out. Okay, so I'm not going to open this up on camera because, again, don't read it unless you have to, especially because this is chapter 12 through 21. So there's no safe page here at all. You open this up and you're like, oh, there's things. So yeah, we'll look at something else. What I will say is the pages seem like your normal rulebook pages. So actually fairly thick and almost slippery, almost plasticky. But again, overall, fairly floppy, right? When it comes to kind of its shape, or whatever, which means it'll do this kind of thing, like really easily. But that's about it. When it comes to that, that's, I think, noteworthy of it. Okay, here is the counter rulebook. This is safe to look at. Thank God. Okay, so again, first of all, the art is fantastic. It's really good. I never realized how yellow this was. Again, I always looked so desaturated in every other piece of the art I've seen, so it's really nice to kind of see it like this. But again, I did paint him. He's fantastic. The Venerator, he looks awesome. All right, so right now, look at that. We got some little lore here, and then the first page, it looks like pages, which is very cool to see. I really appreciate that, but it's only on the edge here. They don't necessarily overdo it, it just kind of keeps going here. You're looking at a piece of it, but it does give it that feel, which is kind of nice, and it actually bleeds onto the other side. Do you see that? That looks nice. It's a good use of color. I really like the almost watermarked highlight they did, like it's very natural there. We got some good bolded headings here, and a nice little call out box here as well. And then it looks like a overall where are you at here, and the page number at the upper right, which is kind of odd. I'm used to it towards the bottom, but it's fine. Game components, always nice to see. I always like seeing the card, the account, the name, and a picture. So that's good to see all of that. Okay, looks like, again, encounter setup and how to set it up, and it's got a little stuff there. Looks like we might get a tray or two, which is nice. And then a whole bunch of stuff, some examples by the looks of it. Some pictures showing what you're doing. Lots of arrows and stuff like that. Very nice to see that. Oh man, look at that. I love the blur. Miss, hit, yeah. So don't get 2 blanks. Don't do that. And if you do get a blank, you'll get it on your best die. All right, man. Look, he goes from giant to small, which is cool to see. Yeah, no, this looks nice. Talking about movement and all that kind of stuff. The encounter phase here. The encounter is kind of the biggest part of the game, right? The boss battle. So this is going to be the most robust part of it. We have Appendix 2. As opposed to Appendix 1. What makes you stop one appendix and go to another one? Why? How do you... Okay, Appendix 1 is just status tokens and stuff. Okay, well, sure, whatever. All right, beautiful art there. That looks great. Looks like some information on some of the Huntress and the Grove Maiden and stuff because they work a little bit different, perhaps. And in the back, you have a glossary, so you can keep this out and kind of see quickly what everything is. It does have page numbers here, which is nice to see. All right, looks good. Looks good. Next up, we have the Encounter book. Let me see if I can open this up. I can open up to the first page, so we'll take a look at that. I will say that this looks great. This the skull here, again, looks awesome. I love seeing kind of in the background some like old abandoned places, perhaps, and the rain looks good. It looks awesome. It looks great. On the back here, how to repack the box. That's nice to see. That would be very useful. Thank you for that. It looks complex, so I'm glad there's instructions. And then on here, again, we just have chapters and mysteries, don't open it anymore, and kind of how to use it. There's an instant action mode, and then in the encounter setup, those will give you 2 different ways of setting it up in case all you want to do is play the boss battle portion of it, and maybe not do the whole campaign narrative. Story rulebook. First of all, you're going to want this. This is the companion app. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can kind of clearly see that. Okay, so anyway, the companion app you're definitely going to want. It has some amazing narration of the story, which is awesome. It's really, really good. Again, some more lore here. It looks almost the same. Great art piece there. And then, again, the same kind of stuff here. It looks like this is talking about the city, or as they're saying, it's story phase of it. Yeah, and how to kind of play that. Which, again, you can kind of stop there, but good luck stopping. Talks about the different time stuff and, you know, different allies you can meet and stuff like that, and the money you can spend. So yeah, that's cool. I dig it. And then over here, oh man, look at that. This almost looks nice. It almost looks nice. Oh, never mind. Okay, this is cool. Look at this. Thank you to all 11,518 backers. With a special thanks to Hazel Jolly and Anne-Marie O'Hara for suffering in the wire road with us every step of the way. Tony Nielsen, Nicholas Zhang, Yusef, well, I'm not going to try that one, Jeffrey, Tyler, Kent, Ryan, and David for being willing to die again and again in the pursuit of perfection. Thomas for being a pillar in the community and ever-present help in the forums and comments. Thomas has done great work there. Also to the hundreds of community members who proofread and tested the game, and to the dozens of artists, writers, and creators who made amazing fan content to inspire us all. Yeah, that's really cool to see. And then, of course, the credits. Very nice. And then an index here. Oh, yes, an index. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So the index has page numbers, lists multiple. It is grouped even by number, and then, of course, letter in alphabetical order, which is also very nice. Encounter body parts. Sure, why not? If you want to read about the encounter body parts, it's page 15 and 22. It's good. It gets 2 pages. So, yeah, overall, this looks like water hexes, wave witch. I love it. Looks great. And then on the back is another glossary. Is it a different glossary? It looks the same to me. It is the same. So you can use either one. It depends on which group you're in. The background image is different. All right. All right, and then next up we have the original storybook here. This is chapters 1 through 11. Let me see if I can open up even the first page, and I can. Okay, great. Okay, so here you can kind of see storybook, table of contents. This goes until the end of chapter 11. Mysteries, don't flick through this book, how to use this book. It tells you kind of where you can go to find things here. And again, the pages are good, kind of just like the rule book there. And that is, I think, it for the books. Let's go ahead. Let's see what else we got. Looks like we got let's look at the tray. So here is the tray that they keep showing here. We got a whole bunch of different numbers and some symbols and stuff like that. Let's go and take a look if we can. Oh, look, interesting. This has a lock on it. This is exactly what I was talking about. Let me zoom in for you. You see this right here, this notch here? That helps the lid stay on. Notice there's no tape here. There's no tape here because it has a lock here, 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 and here on the edges. So you can take it off. Like, it doesn't like lock it, but that little bit keeps it in place. So this doesn't spill. And it's something that would have been nice on, I think, on the other ones. Personal opinion there. Okay, so let's look at the various symbols, because that's the biggest thing. First of all, I love the design. I think that looks great, like the little kind of wing fur things here. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay, they're all odd. I don't know why. That kind of bothers me a little bit. Oh, I think they're probably coins and stuff like that. And normally it's on dual sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a little symbol here that looks great. And now we're going to get to these symbols here, and I think it's kind of hit or miss. Like I think this could have improved a lot, at least with the eyes. It works, but it could have been better. Same with this, the 2 could look better. I can actually kind of barely even tell what this is supposed to be. Same with this one. This is obviously some kind of cards here. Either way, this I think could have, if they were going to do the symbols here, would have liked to see that a little bit more crisp. Those little designs a little bit exaggerated to look nice there. But overall quality, it's not crinkly or anything. It's maybe slightly skinny, so I could see splits like this happening fairly often. In fact, I guarantee I could, just keep splitting that. But for normal wear and tear use, I think it looks great. Oh, look, you get the little symbols in there too, which is nice. And that snap ray is amazing. That's great. It's really, really good. You can see it flares out on the bottom again too there. All right, so I'll put that down there. What else we got in here? Let's see. Oh man, are these baggies? What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't even know. Let's find out. Oh, these must be the tuck bags to kind of save your cards in. Well, that's kind of nice. That's cool that they colored it so it's black, which I think is very fitting. It's clear on the front though. I'm gonna open it up and show you if I can. Let's think it's clear. Oh man, there we are. It is not. Okay, so yeah, what's in here? You won't know. I mean, you won't be able to see, right? Barely kind of see anything there. But just have their symbol on there, so you know which one's yours. I dig that. That's actually really cool. That's nice. Put the baggie inside the baggies. Toss it on the ground. Okay, what else we got? I think we're finally towards the bottom here. Notice this stuff is just kind of loose in here. These packets, save them, keep them in your box. Keep all the moisture out, at least some of it. Depends on where you live. Sometimes you have too much stuff. And a whole bunch of dice. Let's get all the loose stuff out. Okay, I have no interest in showing you off colored cubes. You guys have seen colored cubes. These look very well colored. Like I'm not seeing any kind of issue when it comes to any of the wood showing. And again, it's very bright, so that's nice to see. But again, I think you guys have seen blocks of cubes before. Look at some of the dice here. They serve a variety of purposes. So if you didn't know, this game allows you to use cards or dice, which is kind of cool. So looks like we have some normal, okay, not quite normal. These are spin down dice, I think. No, maybe not. No, they're not. Okay, so the spin will actually kind of go around in kind of an order. This one kind of is 11, 10, 11, then it goes 12, and then, let's see, so let's do 2, 3, where's 4? 4 is over here, so yeah, these are pretty much standard dice here. There's nothing special about them there. You have 2 dice, that's interesting, you have 2 that tell a direction. Sometimes you'll need this for when fighting a boss or something like that. Looking at the paint job, it's not the best, but it works. I mean, it's nice and white. There's a little bit of a gap here in the paint. As you can see, they overpainted a little bit here on the end. It's kind of wavy here. The end here is cut off a little bit. In fact, that's the case on all of them. It's just like not quite. It's like either overpainting there or the line isn't solid. And you know what? I mean, like in general, I think it actually works because of the theme. But I mean, that doesn't excuse the fact that this is chipped, right? The reason that's painted in a little bit is because there's actually a divot there that the white kind of filled in. So yeah, there's a lot of chipping involved there. And I don't know, a lot of times what they'll do to polish it up, especially to get rid of the kind of the screw gap, is to tumble them like a whole bunch. So often you get the scuff marks and stuff like that. All right, then we have these regular dice here. These are hit location dice, and like so like you put them on different body parts and track the health of them. I love the look of them though. I dig the marbling. I dig the gold. So yeah, no, they look great. They're nice and actually kind of big and chunky. which is really good. And yeah, that's it for those dice, but there are other dice. Let's put them back in real quick though. Guys, I hope you're having a good time. It's definitely fun to be the one unboxing it. Obviously, you're not the one unboxing it, but yeah, I must say, it's you know, I like opening prototypes because each one is different, but honestly, the way this one's packed, it's different than any other board game I've gotten. I think that's super cool. I like how unique it is. All right, so these you can do instead of drawing cards. They get better and better. These are exploding symbols, so you get to explode your dice and keep rolling more and more and more. As you can see, they always have 2 blink no matter what. You can roll as many dice as you want, paying to upgrade, of course, but you get 2 blinks and you miss, so it's a push your luck kind of mechanic there. And you can do that by drawing cards too. Drawing the cards is a little bit different, because when you draw the cards, you can even force it to reshuffle, but each deck has a set amount, right? So overall, you're going to see the same probability. But if you just drew a whole bunch of like 1s, right? Well, you know now that it's actually, that deck is trends higher than a 1, whereas a dice is always constant. So you can game the cards a little bit, which is kind of interesting. It's something you can decide whether you want to do or not. And in fact, you can pay some of this animus, is what they call this. It's just essentially your action points represented in physical form. You can pay to even like force it to go back in. If all the good cards came in, you're like, oh, I want those back in. All right, let's look at the player boards here. It's gonna be a little bit harder to open, I think. And again, we got a, looks like a protective paper here. Whoa, wait, what's that? Warning, major spoilers. Do not look at the faces of these boards. So, I'm not gonna show you those cards. But we can look at these. All right. So these are the player boards. You're going to be spending a lot of time with these. Very, very robust, just slightly bendy. They look great, good coloration. They actually do kind of have a good variety there. Those two are kind of close, but you can see there's some, like here, we'll look at, I love the witch. Let's look at the witch. I love it because, and I fought for this. I love her face. First of all, it's a good expression. There's a good feeling there. But lore-wise, she is not want to be there. Notice the collar, right? She is tied to this warden. This warden's like, hey, witch, you can do things. Come fight these giant monsters that are going to eat people. And she's like, I don't want any part of this, but here you go. I love it. I think that's great. Great lore building just in a facial expression there. But let's look at the Ursa, because the Ursa is a freaking polar bear attack thing. So they like have like their armor etched in battle and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, it's got your special ability here. It's got your different cooldowns here. It tells you what you can equip, some of your maxes and stuff like that. Locations for each thing. And the back is a little bit about them, which with a zoom in on the picture, it's not a new picture here. You kind of see, and it gives a difficulty rating, which is nice too. That's in the rulebook as well, so you can look at that. Let's see if they're bent in any way, shape, or form. The way you do that is you take that, you flip it over, and you would invert any bend. And there's like pretty much nothing. You can see a slight little gap there. Honestly, that's nothing. It really is. But yeah, I mean, these look great. They really do. They really do look great. And the fact that there's 12 options is wonderful. The fact that I don't have to buy an expansion to get more is great. The fact that all these act so differently. For instance, she's super cool. You can move so fast with her because she can actually move like on the tree branches up above everybody, which is super neat. The warden actually works with the witch. She can like attack his shield with a spell, which then bounces it off because his armor is like protected by her magic and stuff. The huntress has like these eagle things. Pet classes, heck yes. This is just a lot of really cool stuff there. That's awesome. That's great. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. I'm going to put that back in here. I like the little grabby part here to be able to grab it out. That's nice. And then we're going to put this on top like that. Okay. Let's see. It looks like we got some card boxes and whatnot here. Okay, these are the cards to represent the dice. Okay, so they'll have numbers on them or blanks. And so there's the two there. That's all that is. All sorts of little boxes and whatnot here in Okay, or Z. I don't even know what's in here. I'm trying to open it like off camera here. I don't even know. And then we got a whole bunch of stuff. Here's one here. Oh, this is nice. It's probably the only one I'm even going to grab out here. I don't know if this is chapter 1 or just the first box. I think this is the first box here because there's more than that in chapters. And then see, there's a ranger cards. We'll look at some of these. Okay, these are some of the cards for the players. That's what all these are. Card separator. Unlock cards in front, locked cards behind. Okay. Oh, okay. So you can do that to separate these because one of the big things here is unlocking your skill set, right? And you do that by essentially building your deck, and that's how you level up. That's how you kind of grow. And it looks like some city event cards there. And it looks like another mystery envelope or 2 mystery envelopes, and then your this is kind of cool. So this is the character one just for you. You get to name your character, which is fun. They aren't given names; they're just given essentially what they are, like an Ursa Warbear or an Exile, stuff like that. But you can mark how much regen you have, your max animus, how much defense and HP you have. And that's per character. So that's fun. That's fun to see that. All right, let's take a look at the Exiles. This is pretty straightforward anyway. Let's see how. Oh, wait. I don't think I need this at all. Oh man, that's exciting if this works. That's the key though, right? If this works. Famous last words. Or I guess I should specify if I can get it to work. In which case the answer is no, not without already bending in cards. So I think it's less destructive. Unless it's somewhere else. I don't even know. Where does it start? Right here. Okay. I think it's right here, actually. There we are. I see it. I see it. I got it. No, that's not it. Here we are. Okay, perfect. Look at that. Glorious. All right. A lot of the difficulties are on me, not the manufacturer. Okay, so here you got again the cooldown, animus cost, what you can do, and then some extra stuff there. Like a lot of that's defense and whatnot. Very kind of black with the little framing and stuff like that. So it fits really well when you have the game all set up. But it's certainly nothing like super exciting or pretty, if that makes sense. So that is definitely a thing. All right, so. Let's see, those are just the little ones, and then we got a whole bunch more of them here. Plus some events, which we won't spoil, so we'll just leave that. Well, shoot, how does this work? I think these are skinnier, so I think it goes like, well, I don't know. Now I don't know. It's gonna go like that. That's what it's gonna do. Like, I freaking know. Okay. And then I'm sure these other ones are just more things. Here's common items. Okay, let's look at some 3, 4. Wait, what are these? What's going on here? Okay. Let's not look at anyone because I think, yeah, that's obviously some shenanigans. Okay, you know what? There's a lot of scariness here, so let's see if I can't see some of this off camera to make sure I don't spoil anything for you guys. Unique items. You guys want to see the unique items? I'm kidding. I'm not going to show you that. A lot of boss move sets, unique items 7. I'm going higher in the unique items and go down in the unique items. Or I guess I don't need unique items at all. I do want to show some items. Okay, alley events, common item 20. My goodness, how many common ones do they have? 8. 17, 14, 3. Okay, looks like 3 is like the lowest I'm going to find here. All right. So let's look at 3. We'll just look at the back one here. Let's look at that. Just going to show you. Okay, so this is a symbol of every class that can wear it. So you don't have to refer. You can just look at the item and know if you can. You then have to go look at your tray and then see kind of, oh, what does it list here? So it'll give it little traits and stuff here, and then maybe something special in there too. I believe most things have a unique art piece as well, which is cool. I think there's like 500 plus items or some junk like that. It's something ridiculous. I know that. Okay, so I think that's it for the box, honestly. Let's look at the minis. I know you guys have been waiting for that. Well, now is the time. If you skipped to this part, welcome. You missed all sorts of cool stuff. I'm kidding. It's not, I mean, it's whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead. Cut the plastic. It's probably on both sides. Yeah. Okay, but luckily just on the sides, not on all four. All right. Well, let's start with this guy. Oh, that sounds terrible. All right. Yeah. So this looks great. This has been looks like actually trimmed a little bit. It's the runner there. Looks to stand flat, which is good. I love the kind of trailing vine here. The detail here, like, looks great. I really like that. I like his facial features here. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe a little soft there, but nothing too bad from what I can tell. Certainly nothing like melted or anything like that. I love these, again, these vines and growths that'll look fantastic. The bottom of his feet being like rings of trees is awesome. I love that he's off the base a little bit and that the base is sculpted. Yeah, looks cool. I like that this big piece is there, but then he has almost like a hand too, so his hands are different. That's kind of neat. And then she can also set these up. I've played her once before, and I was not very good at setting these up. I'm sure if you're good at it, though, it's great. It's essentially a turret. It's kind of what this is. I like how tall it is. Like, it's like built up, right? It's not just a flat base at all. In fact, you can tell they keep hollowing out a little bit. Otherwise, they have problems with it. And then like these weird ammo things, but this is the thing you want. That's the cool part there. Very neat. And again, it's cool to kind of have turrets, if that makes sense. It looks like, I don't know if it's an upgraded version or if it's just an alternate version, but this one has a branch over here and then two smaller ones here. So it's a little bit different. Changes things up a little bit. Okay, then we have the man-at-arms, these are the people that can come and help. There is a little bit of a bent sword here, so these are not hips, hence why I can bend it like this. This is a PVC ABS mix, I would imagine. So the texture here looks exquisite, looks wonderful. The assembly here looks good. I love the visor in the face here. This isn't too thick, though it's about as thick as I'd like it, I suppose. Texture on the base looks fantastic. I really dig that as well. Yeah, that mask looks good. Inside here, this goes up just a little bit more than I'd like, but otherwise that looks good. And the pants here, the back of the leg, that's kind of an iffy part on where it ends. I think it should end right there, but it almost looks like it ends kind of inside there, which is a little odd perhaps, but overall, and then the side that you see here, I think it looks good too. So that's nice. All right, here is another one here. I will say I'm not really seeing any like flash issues too much. Maybe I spoke a little too soon because there's definitely one here. But yeah, this looks good. So you can see her hair coming out there and that looks nice. And a little bit bent, more than I would like. This looks good. Again, same kind of thing on the inside here, except her leg is better defined on the back, which I appreciate. And then this isn't too fat, which I also like, of course, as well. There's two more here. There's this guy here, the dual wielding. I think this is the guy I picked after my Ursa just got stomped. Yeah, this looks good. It gets a little bit fat around the legs, but not too bad. These wrinkles and stuff look great. The claw marks on the armor look awesome. The big belt looks great. The like separated power stance looks good. Overall, it's a fun one. Oh, come on. All right, next we have this lady here with looks like a long sword and a short sword. Oftentimes, I know like samurai would have one for outside use, one for inside use, where you're kind of constrained. You can't go around swinging a full sword, if that makes sense. Yeah, again, inside the legs, probably the weakest part there. So it's a little smooth there, because everything else I think looks great. I love the little slashes and the texture and all that kind of stuff. Okay, now we got two different birds here in two different poses. So I'll show them both off here. I love that even the base is clear. That's kind of nice. It's not like super duper clear. And I think that's totally fine too. But yeah, that looks super awesome. Love the wings, love the feathers, the outstretched claws, the talons look great. That looks really good. The texture here looks nice as well. And again, I love that there are two different ones. Even their wings are different, right? One's aimed up versus down. And it just looks really nice. All right, that's it for that whole tray. Again, it goes pretty quick. Let's take a look at the last bit here, the tray in here. And there is a card I need to find still too. So let's do that. Maybe we'll show that at the very end. And yeah, let's cut this. Grab on both sides, yes. All right, and we're off in the races here. Okay, here is the Exile. And yeah, no, I think push fit works really well. This is a little bit extra I need to push in there. Again, I will try the Armory options. Looks like even on the base. But again, you can just kind of push them in, and it looks like he holds pretty well. So if I drop him or anything like that, he's not just gonna like fall into pieces or anything like that. You can pick him up by one piece, which is really nice. But it does kind of flex a little bit, right? So ideally you still add some glue if you want, but you certainly don't have to. And you know what they got out of it is this really fancy detail. That looks great. The weapon looks awesome. The kind of ram head in the back here looks awesome. I love the uniform thickness of the cape. Bottom of the shoe looks great. The scars on the skin are awesome. I mean, everything about this looks so good. It really does. Love this cape, by the way. Oh, and this is great too. Look at this. You can tell he like slid back and pushed almost, right? Is what it almost looks like. Like he just uncovered all this pebble stone with this mud here, which is just a great look, I think. That looks awesome. Right, here is the Warden. And again, I think he looks cool too. Needs a little bit of a push in, just a little bit, kind of solidify things. There we are. Oh no, there we're not. All right, let's see how this works. Okay, just like that. Oh, that's a little loose. At least on mine. Okay. Anyway, I think he looks great. I love the sword in front of him. Yeah, this is going to need some blue putty. So if you don't want to paint it, just add some blue putty to it. Some blue poster tack. It's going to keep falling off. The sword, nice and straight, nice and skinny. Again, that hips mini is great. I love the kind of the corner foothold here as you lean forward. Ever keep the charge. This gets a little flat here, in my opinion. I think so anyway. Right, it just kind of devolves slightly. And yeah, apparently this is supposed to go on. Inside of the shield looks good. Got a little place to brace his arm and whatnot, which is nice. I'll have to glue that later. Okay, here is the priest. He can heal, which is really nice. Different terrain, which is very much appreciated. The pieces do leave a little bit of a gap, but it's not terrible. The inside here, it's a little thick, but otherwise okay. The facial features look great. The chainmail looks awesome. The fingers look fantastic. Look at the fingers there. Compare those fingers with any other like board game you have. These are fantastic fingers. They look great. The hammer looks good, so nice and chiseled. So that's good to see. Yeah, overall, very impressed by that. It looks like the push fit goes in there. There you go. And yeah, you can pick them up if you want like that. Very cool. Okay. Next up, we have the ranger. Oh no, this is the huntress, because she's like commanding her people. And again, looks great. Love that the quiver's lower. I love that the arrows are all down there. Love that she's holding the bow like that. So that's really good. The cape is left on. Big basing here, which is super great to see. And it's great to see it included in the sculpt. This texture here is amazing. It feels really, really good. The face inside the hood came out wonderful. Very, very cool. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. It turns out really nice. How could I not pick this as my first mini? This is awesome. Here's the Ursa Warbear. Love the runes here. Love the little carvings and stuff like that in the army. And the armor. I think that looks really good. This axe is amazing. I love the style of it. I love everything about it. Love that it's all separate here. Yeah, overall, don't mess with this bear. That's all there is to it, because she will mess you up. Love that this is hollow inside. That's what's nice about multi-piece. All right, next up we have the witch here. Great for OSL. She's got a little lantern here, which looks nice. Again, love that her fingers are outstretched. Love the texture even on the bodice there. The face inside of a hood looks great. Love the little knife dagger things you got going on there. Base looks good. Cape is actually skinnier. So this is one thing I am noticing here. Look how skinny her cape is compared to his cape. Now, granted, they can be made of different things. But still, I mean, whether it's silk or rawhide, I don't know if it's like quintuple the size thickness-wise, right? This is like 5 of those little ones. I guess not really. It's more like 2.5. 2.5 of these equal 1 of those. So that's kind of interesting. But overall, yeah, again, great. I love that this is her front, but she's looking that way. I think that's really, really nice to see. It just kind of makes things more interesting, I feel. Right here's the Kerr. He gets a lot of backstab stuff. He's like the rogue. I think it looks great. It gets a little fat here for a cape, right? Maybe a little bit silly, but overall okay. Good connection point, actually. Very well on there, which is nice. Again, this is probably a little loose by the looks of it. And a lot of that might just be because this isn't pushed in all the way, right? Once that's pushed in, then that becomes a lot stronger. And it does, see? So that's a lot of that too. It's kind of a bummer that the hood is split in the middle, but again, makes sense. Overall, looks great as well. All right, we're making good progress here. Let's take a look at the Grove Maiden. Again, very different. I love how high she is. I love that her feet kind of aren't separated. I think that's super cool. I love that the fact that she kind of has wings, but she doesn't. And all these swirls on the body, I think look neat. So here's one thing. So this looks great. But notice here in the back here, it's like completely flat. Do you see that? There's zero texture right behind her head. Maybe you can get that in the shot. Maybe I can't. Let me move my light here a little bit. All right, do you see that? So that's kind of odd. I'm kind of a little bummed about that. All right, it just would have been nice to have some texture there. It's like very flat. I'm not saying it's not sculpted per se, but it is very lackluster in the detail. It would have been nice to have more detail like this, I think, there. All right, either way, though, I think she looks awesome. Again, I do love the texture where it is. I think that looks really good. All right, next up we have one of the hardest classes to play. I think I tried it once and I was not good at it. So this guy, he can essentially like read the future, so he can do buffs and debuffs really well. Which is super cool, and he's a super cool looking character. He's a freaking Birdman, but just as an FYI, if you play him that way, you know, it's more difficult for sure. This weapon though looks amazing, looks really, really good. Yeah, I love the different tassels, right, with the little ends there. I think that looks great. So really happy to see that. Again, these feathers look great. This looks super cool. All right, I'm gonna get the broken one last. All right, so here we have this guy. I believe he's some kind of like blade master, essentially. Huge two-handed sword that he's using here. A decent thickness on the cape. Love the texture and stuff. Yeah, this looks really nice. I love the ornate armor. That's gonna look awesome. The lion head there looks good. The face looks good. It just looks good. All right, now here we have the ranger. And again, she's great. She can move really, really far. I love that she's already jumping off of some wood. Love the ponytail stuff. I think that's great. There's the fingers. You can see she released it right across her cheek. Very common tactic for people who draw bows and whatnot. Yeah, this looks good. And in fact, you could almost do that in real life with this plastic, which is great. The scraggly ones actually look like branches, right? Okay, and then next up we have the penitent, who's super cool when put together. So let's see if I can't improve things a little bit here. So, so I'm already kind of snapping things together there, which is nice. Okay, next up we have, okay, the shield, which works. Then we have the ball and chain here, which might work, might not. I don't know, it's kind of iffy. I think it goes like this, though, actually. Yes. Of course it does. I'll try to tell you. And then, ooh, oh, sorry. Okay, I think it's kind of like that. That's how the default is, anyway. Oh my gosh, I can't get that for the life of me. Yeah, so some of these I think definitely need either glue or putty or something, because they will just fall apart. Okay, well that is all of the minis. So let me look at that card I wanted to show you guys, and then we'll look at the terrain box. Alright, we got our first sad part of the day. This is the terrain box, and well, I'm excited for that. If I flip this over, got a big old, chunk out of it, which makes me sad. A good thing, though, is that it's on the back. It's a very good thing. Very happy about that, at least. If you're going to get one, get it on the back of the box for sure. So we'll take a look, make sure nothing bad happened to it there. And like I said, this was shipped differently than you guys will get yours, so hopefully it's just a problem with mine. And, of course, we're shipping out tens of thousands of stuff. Things can happen. But, I mean, they packed that as tight as possible, and that's, of course, to help with shipping, I imagine. But, yeah, there certainly wasn't like a whole lot of styrofoam around any of this, right? Okay, lid does lift off really well. And yeah, the inside of this still looks fantastic. Okay, wow, that is some big freaking terrain. So the scale of this game is quite large. Alright, let's see if this is like taped on already or something. Is it? Or will this come off? It is taped on, so you're gonna have to take it all completely out. Looks like it'll be fine because there's some gap there. To cut the tape, so then you can open it like normal. Okay, and right there, make sure I cut it. Okay, I think I got it. So let's put that back in and see how the normal opening, once you do that the first time, will be. Looks like pretty easy. Okay, so lid is on, and then you lift right out. Okay, cool. Good. That works well. That works well. So we got some styrofoam here to fill that in, so I'm gonna probably keep that. But yeah, okay, so we got some walls here. Take a look at the walls. Little half walls. I'm gonna take a character out as well, just so we have some sense of scale. Anybody just kind of standing. Let's take the witch. That's a normal human lady. That's how tall the wall is to her. So like right up, I mean that's actually pretty significant. Right up to like her, like right below her chest, I would say, is where that is. Okay, quite solid, which is nice. It doesn't like it's bowing at all, which is good. That I think I forget what my arena stuff, when I first got the dungeon set of that one, bowed a little bit, but this is really nice. These supports here, I imagine, help with that a lot. The texture here looks great. The rocks are super chiseled. The like kind of mossy growth in there looks good. There's some like chunks missing out and whatnot. Very uneven, very old. I like how there's more rocks here than a big splotch here. Just very sporadic. There was a little bit of a mold line right there. It's kind of interesting to see that towards the bottom. But that's really about it. Looks like there's a slight tiny bit of one here. But honestly, it looks great right out of the box. Honestly, you get quite a few of those too, which is super nice. Anything else? No. So it looks like, what was it, 3 each? So 6 of them or so. Very cool. All right, let's look at the house here. Wow, that is big. And it looks like oh, there's more stuff down there, I think. Okay, so here's the house. Nothing on the inside, right? Very plain there. But on the outside, let's see, it looks like she could actually walk through that door. No, she could not. So she's a little taller than the door is here. Well, okay, let's, I guess, put her about as even as possible, right around there. And I think she might just be able to fit in there. It is close, so I think she should probably duck her head a little bit, or her hair's going to get messed up. Again, the growth even on this, you can see it's kind of consuming everything. The planks look wonderful. That's really, really cool. I really like that. The rock kind of outcropping there looks great. The chimney looks good. It is blocked here. I'm glad that they actually put that there. A bit of a mold line right there. That's kind of noticeable. And a little bit of roughness of the mold there. Love the separated shingles though. I think that looks cool. Looks super nice. And there is a hole in here. So I don't know why they did this necessarily. Maybe so you can add some lighting in there or something. Like overall it's fine and it's cool that you can see in there. However, if it's on the game board, you might see a little bit of green in there, right? Or you might see towards the very back, which has this. One thing you do that often works quite well is to get a little paper and tape paper to there, and then you can color in whatever you want to do, right? Put in some shades or something like that, or even like a nice warm glow and have it look like some glass almost. So you can do stuff like that by paint. Just, putting a paper right there, and then you can kind of color on it and stuff. So that's kind of how you can handle that. Should you choose, of course. All right, is there a specific way for this? I don't know. Beats me. Not that way. Not that way. Not any of these ways, really. There we go. Well, I mean, no. Aha! Found it. Okay, let's make a tree. Make like a tree. All right, so multi-part, which is nice, means it's not taking up too much space. Looks like there's probably only one right way to do this. Oh yeah, see there's a little divot there? A little divot there, so that goes right in like this, I would imagine. Maybe. I would think. Well, now I'm second guessing myself, I don't know. I think it does. I think it's just really tight. Or this is for a piece higher, but I don't think so. It's just really tight. I wonder if they're all like that. It's kind of interesting. Let's try another one. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Maybe that's it. Oh, that was a little bit easier. Okay. Alright, so there's 2 bits there, but there should be some toppers. Maybe that's what's under here. I think that's what's under here. I think, yes. Okay, perfect. So then there's the top right here, which again looks like there's a certain shape. See? So that's going to go in right like this. There we are. And that is how you get big old trees, which again is just going to look great. The table presence on this game is going to be outstanding. That's what it's going to be. Okay. There we are. And now you can see the size difference of the trees. Nice. Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I have to zoom out a little bit for this. All right, so even more. All right, well, as you can see, it's quite large, right? So there's the size difference of the trees. So they're big, which is just great, and really thick too. Like the base of them are nice. That looks awesome. I really dig that. And the vines kind of help hide the separation. This one looks like it probably needs to be pushed in a little bit more still, but or trimmed up or something. I don't know. But this one went perfectly. So that's really good. And again, it looks great. All right, well, that's the terrain box. That's it, guys. I mean, that's all she wrote. So let's go ahead now. I'm going to move this to the side a little bit and look at the armory. Maybe we'll look at some of her options since we have her out here. So let's take a look at the armory. I'm excited for this. This is going to be super cool. Definitely something different and unique. And in my opinion, this solves the issue that the armor sets had in Kingdom of the Monsters so much better. There's so much less bloat, less waste. Look at all these options you get. Now, obviously, it's not a whole armor set, but you could totally do that, right? I mean, they're push fit. So if you wanted new armor and stuff like that, they could do a lot more than just weapons, should they choose. This is definitely a box I don't like. I don't like the style of box. Because no matter what, when the moment you open it, you automatically damage the box. And it just, that annoys me. Okay, so, oh man, we got several things here. Okay, what's going on? Alright. Taking all that out. That goes over there. Okay. Okay, here, the following page contains instructions. Squeeze green and red together for a tight fit. Okay, and then we got, looks like different options for different characters. So let's take a look at the witch. Let's go to the witch. See what we got here. here she is. So it looks like her top part has different things. Oh man, including daggers? Sweet. Okay, yeah, let's take a look there. And then in here, it looks like this is just bins for the stuff. Again, a locking lid. Really appreciate that. I don't know why sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And look at that. Each bag is labeled. Here's the War Bears. Oh, that's nice. The Cur, the Blade, the Warden, the Exile, the Penitent. Here's hers all the way at the bottom here. Awesome. Oh, that's the Harbinger. Okay. Never mind. The Ranger, the Exile. Where's the Witch? The Priest, the Huntress. Okay, hold on. I must have skipped it. Ranger, Harbinger, Exile, Penitent, Witch. Perfect. All right. I just realized my daughter back like almost 2 years ago now, it seems, painted the resin witch that we have. So I will show you that as well, so you can kind of see the difference there. It was either that or it was one of these push fit ones. I can't remember. I think it wasn't that though. All right. So let's see if we can't just pop this off. I think we can though. I want to say it just pops off. Let's see. How does it show it? Let's like maybe pop her head out. And then, come on, head. No, man, she's in there. Woo! Luckily, Hip's plastic is super. Oh, wow, so it's like her whole kind of body there. Oh, yeah, because that looks normal. All right, guys, take a look at that. All right, so there she is. All right, let's give her daggers first. That's a big change. So let's go ahead and give her that. It looks like just go in. Okay, I mean that's okay. This is 2 parts. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, wait a second. That looks like too much. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then this would go on like that. Push it together. There you go. And now she has 2 daggers. Very cool. I dig that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Looks like it's almost, there we go. It's here. Okay, let's do a big heavy duty. This is like end game stuff here. Now she has that big ol' freaking staff thing. Look at that. Very cool. I think I'm gonna pick one other character just because hers are all kind of the same pose. And I wanna kinda maybe something like let's try the Ursa. I think the Ursa, their stuff changes, and their War Bears right here. A lot of options here. Oh, the claws are freaking cool. I think you can even mix and match. Look at the scythe thing. Oh, that's sweet too. I dig that. All right, so let's go ahead and look at taking this off here. Okay, so there is the core option. All right, so let's go and put these claws on here. It looks like it changes completely to this, which is super nice. If I can get it in there. There we go. Yeah, just like that. So now you have 2 claws instead. It looks like, by the way, her face is split, which is kind of a bummer. Not ideal, I don't think. Now let's go ahead and do something like maybe we can split weapons. Like let's go ahead and do an axe in this hand. Okay. And then you could do a claw, but let's go ahead and do a, one of these bad boys. There we go. So now has a freaking like whip weapon plus the axe. And of course you could change that back to a claw still if you wanted as well. Or whatever floats your boat, whatever weapons you're using, she can have. And I think that's super cool. I'm going to give her a scythe. This actually works out quite well, which is super nice, actually. Let's give her this upgraded kind of deal here. Okay, so I'm going to need that other arm. There's a arm piece that doesn't have an attachment. Here we go. Perfect. It goes on like that. And now I'm going to put this on like so. I think this kind of goes in first. And then this can snap on, head can come off, and there we are. Perfect. Super cool. I dig it. That's awesome. All right, so that is the Armory. I mean, it's as simple as that. All right, and here is my daughter's painted version that she did quite a while ago. It was the first time she was able to base, and she really enjoyed that. And I just wanted to show off the fact that she even did the OSL. Right, it's glowing on the stick, which is super cool. I think she did a great job. And it goes to show how much a little bit of color does to make the mini look complete. And how much room you have on these bases to just go to town and do whatever you want. I mean, she put little sticks in there and everything, which is awesome. So, yeah, very cool. Maybe she'll play the witch again. I'm not sure. All right, let's go ahead now to that mystery box. All right. Here is mystery box number 2. Which I think has the chapter 1 enemy in it. So, very intuitive there. Bummer that I didn't get to see the standees. It would have been cool to have them... I didn't see standee holders for those standees either. Maybe they were cardboard ones. To have both, right? Like Townsfolk Tussle did. But I understand it. To reduce that. It's not like I need both anyway. I just wanted to see them. Okay. Whew. Open her up. There's no spoilers in here. I'd have to open each individual one up. There's number 1. Okay. Let's take a look at number 1. And yeah, I don't know what these are. Oh, it's heavy. Okay. And again, it's these boxes that are just going to not look great once you pack them up. Okay, that's like upside down or whatever. Kind of weird. But there she is. There's the Broodmother. Locking lid. That's nice to see. I suspect that the spawns are in this other box here. Let's go and just take a look. Just at her. Super heavy. Wow. Okay, very heavy. Let's dive in. Exciting. Okay. So, yeah, right off the bat, I can say that I think this looks pretty much just like the resin model I got. Like, no joke. The only difference is I think it's assembled a little bit better. Not perfect, right? There is still a little bit of a gap there underneath the tail. This texture is amazing. Like, all of this is really good. Really, really good. And this is not hips, by the way. But this is, the base is ABS. You can see how shiny it is there. And then how flat it is, obviously. That's all thanks to ABS. So PVC would have warped like no other. So that's really good to see. And honestly, I think there's a good mix. You can mix PVC and ABS plastic, and I think that's what they did here. Because this is fairly shiny too, and PVC typically is a lot duller. So there's that. These are supposed to look all smoother, and they certainly do, which makes them look quite different. I think overall it fits quite well and it's blending in fairly good. There's a few parts like right here where it looks like there might be some filler, but otherwise pretty good. A little bit of mold line every so often, like on butts typically. And all the mouths, as you see, are going to be full. Unless they're like really open like this, but then some of them like this, like the one I was showing you, or even this one here, are a little full. You can just paint that with like a tongue or something like that. I think that should work. These necrotic pieces again look awesome. Texture in the mouth looks great. The teeth look good. There is a little bit of a line here. It's very subtle though. It'll be kind of hard to get to. The tails look great. A little soft here in the detail. It almost looks like they're Siamese twins connected at the butt, right? So that should be a little bit, I think, more defined. And let's see. Yeah, it's the same with here, right? Like there's a few muddy parts here, but honestly, when you paint this, it's just supposed to look like a mass of them. Maybe a little bit of a weird kind of fill in here as well. Same here. Like what is this? What's going on there? Is that part of that one's body maybe? I know it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like it's going down in there. So anyway, that's some great depth in there. That looks awesome. I love the one hanging out here. I don't recall if mine had that. Do mine have one hanging all the way down here, like on the side of the leg? I think that's new. I think they were all just on top at first. Got the little kind of spikes from the spine showing up. They're more obviously from the spine here, I think. These almost look like spikes. They're so angled. Yeah, the inside of the ears look great. The eye looks great. The base looks amazing. Love it. There's a little thing here. It looks like they reduced the size of this. That looks much smaller than what I remember. And nice smooth base. That looks awesome. Came out great. Fantastic. Let's see if we can see some of her little spawns. Okay, so maybe it's mixed. Maybe it's in one of these. Let's try this. Are the rats in here? Yes, okay. So they're in a whole separate box. So weird. Alright, so looking at this, they have two different molds here. They have the one with the longer tail that goes to the side, and then the one with the stubby tail that goes to the other side. I am noticing that, well, see how this is really flush, but then this one is really farther away, kind of in between. So it just kind of depends. But it looks like these, because they're loose, it's kind of been bent at different angles, really. All right, mystery box. Let's dive in. See what it's all about. You may open this box. All right, well, let's open it then. It says it. That means I can do it. I don't want to hear any complaining. All right. And oh, what is this? Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Look at that. Oh man, I'm excited. That's super cool. Wow, that is nice. Wasn't this like $10 or something on the Kickstarter? 15? That's a great price for this. Wow, talk about a reward. Oh, that is awesome. Look at this, guys. Freaking sweet. Oh my gosh. That is awesome. Okay, well, let's discuss. First of all, it's heavy. Okay, I can tell you that much. I almost wish there was something printed on the bottom, but there isn't. Okay, so, where to begin? The texture on here is amazing. It's really good. The basing here looks great. I love the little splashes of like wash that makes it look kind of slimy. I really dig that. I'm actually glad it's kind of on the bottom of their foot even and stuff like that. It's really well sculpted on the inside and stuff too. You can see everything is actually sculpted there. Stitching looks good. The wash again was added very nicely. Same with like the ends of the blades and stuff like that. The little bit of light blue, like a sky blue dry brush on here, I think did wonders. Inside of the mouth is sculpted. Teeth look great. I love that they're yellow. Again, these claws look great. The runes look good. Assembly was really well done. How cool is that? That is freaking sweet. I love this. They need to make more of these. Please make more of these. I would buy them. No joke. If I could get like the whole set, I think I would do that. That is amazing. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Look at the size difference. This is really nice. What a collectible item. Very nicely done. Very, very well done. Again, the wash is done really well. They actually wiped it off. Not quite perfect. It's a little darker here and stuff like that. Right? And the dry brush is a little heavy-handed there. So, I mean, there's critiques you can have, but honestly, again, we're literally giving these away, and it looks great. Looks great. I love the little bird on there and stuff. Again, all the runes look good. The rope looks good. Even like the painting around the rope is actually quite nice. It's really, really good. Really well done. Yeah, very happy with that. Very happy with that. Well, we're going to end it on that. And I will catch you guys, if you want, in the spoiler version of this video. We're going to add another video with just the spoiler content, so you won't have to sit through anything you have already seen. And yeah, I'll catch you guys there. If not, though, have a great rest of your day, and take care, guys.